What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the official Baddies Midwest After Show, only on Damien After Dark. I'm so thrilled that you decided to join me as we get down and dirty with the latest episode of Baddies Midwest on the Zeus Network. So, before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, click that subscribe button and like this video, okay? That's the two most important things that I need you to do if you're new here or you haven't done that yet. All right, now go ahead, get in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this week's episode. It was a good one. We got some things to talk about. Last but not least, if you would like to donate to the channel, in the description box below will be some ways that you can donate, okay? Thank you guys so much for the love and the support. I truly, truly, humbly appreciate every ounce of support, okay? Liking, sharing, commenting, donating, all that. I really thank you guys, okay? So, Happy New Year, everyone. Okay, where's my vape? I feel naked without my vape. Happy New Year. Happy 2025. We're going into a new year. Um, I hope all of you guys, maybe you have some goals set. Maybe you have some plans. I know I do. I hope I can follow through with them. That's always the biggest problem, right? Setting the goal and then following through with the bitch. So, we're going to see what happens. All right. Now, let's get into this episode. And stay warm wherever you are, too. I hope y'all are staying warm because I know that, pretty much, I don't know about the rest of the world, but in the USA, I know a lot of us are experiencing, do they call it a polar vortex? What is that? I think that's, a lot of the USA is cold as fuck right now, okay? So, everybody just trying to stay warm. Now, this episode featured Ivory and Big Lex going round for round. They ended up doing what? About 4 or 5 rounds tonight. Who, if you had to choose a fighter, who is the best fighter out of tonight's episode? Is it Ivory or is it Big Lex? Who won that? I'm going to tell y'all who I thought won that. We're going to get into it, okay? Now, it all started over the room. Because Natalie, I'm pretty sure it was Natalie. Was it not Natalie, y'all, that swapped the names out? Because later on in the episode, they made it seem like it wasn't Natalie. But I thought she was the one that did it. Or she at least initiated it. But it all started over the room. Big Lex said that she's not sharing this room. And Ivory put her stuff down okay, well, let's go. We gonna fight over this room, right? So we watch them. They go in blow for blow. In the bedroom. Now, immediately after that fight, Ivory goes downstairs to put ice on her eye. Now, notice, Big Lex stayed in the room. Big Lex wanted that room, and she got that room. Now, I know a lot of people don't like Big Lex, and a lot of people are Team Ivory. That's okay. That's fine. I like both of them. I'm Team both of them, okay? But I like that Big Lex is standing on what she believes is the right thing to do. You know what I mean? I feel her on that. Look, they had our names both on this fucking door. I'm not going nowhere. And if we got to fight it out, we got to fight it out. Now, Ivory has this ice on her face. I never saw a scratch on Big Lex's face. Did y'all? Did y'all see any battle wounds? Now, Ivory says, we're going to give Ivory the benefit of the doubt because she did say that she left the room to go downstairs so she could have more room to fight Big Lex. And I agree with that. I think she was because they were in a tight space. They were in a bedroom fighting, and that's never good when you don't have space to fight. But at the same time, sis, you went downstairs to get the ice as well because you knew you was fisting the, it was fisting to look like an egg on that face. I don't know what it was fisting to look like, but I know she had that damn ice pack covering that eye all night. Now, Ivory wants more of Big Lex, and Lex comes downstairs. She says, I'm never ducking the smoke. She comes downstairs, and Lex may be little, but she was keeping up with Big Mama. She was keeping up with Ivory, okay? Because Ivory is a stout girl, right? Ivory is a stout girl. Lex is a really little girl. She knows she's a little taller. I don't know, is she taller? Yeah, but she's really thin. So there. I want to hear who y'all think won in that. There are a lot of people saying Ivory won online. I was looking at the online threads. A lot of people are saying Ivory took that, and then I see other people saying Big Lex took that. I'm gonna be real with y'all, and we'll talk more about this throughout this recap. But I think Big Lex won that. And I listen, y'all gonna say there's some people that have been in the comments lately, coming after me about Ivory. I don't have a problem with Ivory. I've never had a problem with Ivory. I watched Ivory before she ever came to Baddies when she was on Now That's TV. I was a fan of Ivory's then, but I've always called her out on her bullshit too because she can do some bully shit that I don't like. But I also think that she has very entertaining moments, and I love that most girls that she fights, that she whoops their ass. Most girls can't do anything to her, right? But she's met a match, and I feel like that's Big Lex. Big Lex holds her own to Ivory, and we saw throughout tonight's episode, or this week's episode, we saw throughout this week's episode, Sunday night's episode, Ivory was pissed about what happened. Ivory, usually she'll knock a bitch out, go about her day, be laughing, having fun. This time, she was mad because she lost that fight in her eyes. Whether you want to admit it, whether I want to admit it, whoever don't want to admit it, Ivory knows that she lost that fight in her eyes, which is why she was walking around huffing and puffing mad with an ice pack on her face all night, going off on anybody and everybody that got in her way. Okay? Now, while all this is going on, Anna Whack starts running her mouth. For whatever reason, I don't know why, Anna, you've been doing a really good job at fading in the background and playing background vocals this season, and I'm going to need you to go back to doing that, because anytime you open your mouth, I'm just not here for it, Anna. I'm sorry. So Anna starts running her mouth, putting her and her Rick James wig in everybody else's business. Yes, she's still wearing that Rick James wig that she's been wearing since Baddies fucking East. And she tells Big Lex, it's not that big of a deal. You should have never started with her. And it's like, Anna, unless you're about to get in the paint and fight Big Lex, unless you're about to actually do something for once, shut the fuck up. Just shut up. Like, what do you have positive to contribute to that conversation? What makes you think that you telling another girl you shouldn't have done? What makes you think that's going to result in anything positive? You knew what you were doing. You knew what you were doing. And you're probably low-key jealous of Big Lex that she's the new girl. And not only can she kick ass and take names, she's a baddie. Or has Lemon Pepper been eyeballing that? Has Lemon Pepper been eyeballing Big Lex and you don't like that? Because that is his type. Y'all know Lemon Pepper love him a light skin. Now, there's been people also that have been saying too, oh, well, I see it on the Baddies fan pages in the comments. I see it on the Zeus Network comments. I see it on comments here before. Well, Anna does fight, Damien. Anna does get in there. She has fight. Where? Scotty does not count. Fighting Scotty, her first season or whatever, I forgot when it was that Anna fought Scotty. That does not count because Scotty is not even a fight. That's patty cakes. Give me a fight. Show me a fight where Anna has really been in there getting it. She don't. She's weak sauce. And I told y'all before, Anna fights a variety of ways. She fights either very dirty, she throws shit at you, she has you jumped, or she jumps with someone, or she has somebody fight for her. Like, come on now. I feel like she finds a way out of every single fight. That Anna Whack. I really do. I really feel like she does. Now, Big Lex tells Anna what I have been saying from the get-go. Y'all know I've been saying it from the get-go. Big Lex tells Anna, your mouth is too big for your fucking size. And I'm like, this is why I love Big Lex. Like, she be saying a lot of what I'm thinking. Like, she really does. Big Lex be saying a lot of what I'm thinking throughout the season. And it's like, can we get that on a t-shirt for Anna Mac, by the way? Your mouth is too big for your fucking size. Anna. Put up or shut up, okay? Now, meanwhile, Diamond Body and Pretty P are over here while Anna and Big Lex are going at it. They're over here squaring up like Mortal Kombat, getting ready to fight. Like, getting their fade out the way, I guess. That's what DTB said. I'm ready. I want to. DTB says I want to get my fade out the way and go ahead and fight Pretty P. Okay. So we see them square up. Da 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 da. They do their round. I guess I would give that to Pretty P. Pretty P was the better fighter when it comes to her and Diamond, in my opinion. I've never thought of Diamond as like a fighter like that. That like that kind of girl. Like she fights and she never ducks a fade, but um now we've seen Ivory and Big Lex do a couple rounds at this point. Natalie comes back and she says Ivory wants to do another round. And Lex says, okay, I'm not ducking any smoke. And I really, like I told y'all throughout this episode, you can really see hints. You can really see Ivory kind of unraveling because she's so pissed. In my opinion, she's so pissed about Big Lex embarrassing her and giving her this quote unquote black eye. Now, let Ivory tell it she had the black eye. But my thing is, if you had the black eye, why do you have ice on your face now? And I don't remember you having a black eye the episode before when you were in the bedroom with Big Lex and y'all were arguing over the room. I don't remember you having the black eye, Ivory. And you even said it this episode that she gave you the black eye. So which one is it? She gave you the black eye or you had it before? Do you know what I mean? Just own it and say, look, she gave me the black eye, win some, lose some. But Ivory is used to being the girl that comes in and knocks everybody motherfucking down like a bowling pin. And you didn't do it this time. And that's okay. And listen, me thinking Big Lex won might not be the popular vote, okay? And like I said, I like Ivory, but I gotta give these fights to Big Legs. And don't get me wrong, there were lots. It was almost tied for me. It was almost tied for me. But Big Legs came out flawless almost. Now Natalie tries to move things along by giving out another baddie chain, right? And did y'all notice, like, before Natalie could even give out the baddie chain, Ivory was like, she comes charging towards Lex, and she's like, who's gonna get the baddie chain? And I think Ivory thought that Natalie was about to give Big Lex the baddie chain, and Ivory did not want her to have that chain. She is pissed. She did not want her to have that chain, so Ivory, like, charges towards Big Lex, and we see security, like, charge towards both of them, and it even looked like one security guard even swung on one of the girls for 1 second. Did y'all catch that? Did y'all catch that? Because I'm like, what the hell? It looked like he swung on her, and then he like spun around. But um, Natalie tells the girls that they have decided they're not going to send any of the girls home because they're in a sisterhood, and they don't want to send Emma home right now in the situation that she is. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, Big Lex even says in her confessional that Natalie is being too nice and playing it safe by saying that everyone can stay. What do y'all think about that? I mean, in a way, I kind of do agree with that because, like, even though I do have sympathy for Emma, everybody is battling something, everybody is dealing with something, and if you're going to let people stay based off what they're going through, I feel like it sets a precedent for everyone else that comes in the future to be able to use what they're going through as an excuse to stay. And no shade to Emma, because I don't know what Emma is going through. And I don't know what the situation is. She might need the money. I heard they said her father had, the C word. I hate that word. And if my parent was going through that, fuck baddies. That's just my opinion, right? If my parent had a sickness and they were going through something, I want to spend every fucking moment that I can with them. But then again, I don't want to judge. I don't know Emma's situation. Maybe she really needed that money and it was a good opportunity that she couldn't pass down and her father told her to go do it. Do you know what I'm saying? We don't know. Now, Emma claims that, even though she's been going through what she's been going through, she's still been popping her shit. And I just don't get that. Where, my love? I don't see you popping anything. We saw you pop gums on episode 1 and 2 about Scotty, but if that's all you're going to be known for, baby, come on. What? And you don't have to necessarily fight or get into it with nobody, but can we see more of your personality? That's why I like DTB, the Tinkerbellas. They, outside of the fighting, they've got the big bubbly personality. Emma doesn't have that, in my opinion. Now, Natalie gets another baddie chain to give out. And Roelly says in her confessional that she feels like that they're giving out way too many baddie chains at this point, whereas she felt like she had to work for hers and earn it. How do y'all feel about that? Do y'all agree? I agree with Roelly on that one. They are giving out these baddie chains, and it's like, who gives a fuck? What are the significance of it? I really feel like the main reason people want one is so they can pawn it. I mean, who wants a big gaudy chain that says bad? Like, I'm sorry, I just wouldn't want to. Now, to each their own. I would pawn the motherfucker. I'd sell it to some fans or something. I don't want to walk around with bad. And then them big chains, they're just gaudy as shit. You know what I mean? And listen, I love me some jewelry. If y'all watch my videos back, I don't got anything on today, but usually I've got a bracelet, a watch, some rings, earrings. I got something on. I love jewelry. But that big baddies, it's just like, can we move past that? Can we move past the baddies chain? Now, Natalie gives Scotty the baddies chain, and she says, Scotty, I want you to give the chain out to who you think is the who deserves this baddies chain. And Scotty says, I want to give it to either Big Lex or Jazz, right? Now, everybody immediately starts popping it when she says that, and Summer's like, "Oh hell no!" Well, everybody doesn't start popping it. Let me rephrase that. You can, it's like everybody goes, "Oh shit!" Whenever she says Big Lex and Jazz, I think a lot of people were assuming that this chain was automatically gonna go to Big Lex because I feel like she did deserve it. But the fact that Jazz was in there, I think a lot of people kind of scratched their heads like, "Huh? Why Jazz? Why not Pretty P, who's been popping her shit since she's been there? Why not Bad Dolly, who's been popping her shit since she's been there, over Jazz, in my opinion?" Now, Summer immediately is pissed, and she's like, "Oh, hell no, Big Lex deserves that chain. And if Jazz gets it, I'm yanking it off her motherfucking neck." Listen, Summer, my girl, what are you doing? Now, to me, I'm going to be real with y'all. In this moment, this was Jazz's moment right here to show them why she deserved that baddie chain, okay? When Summer started running her mouth for the 18th time to Jazz this season, this was Jazz's time to walk up to Summer and pop her in the motherfucking mouth, and I guarantee you they would have handed that chain over like it was nothing. Now, we know that Jazz got the chain regardless, but did you really deserve the chain, Jazz? No, I don't feel like you did, but had you had handled business and stood on business in that very moment when Summer was chin-checking you yet again, how many times have we seen this season Summer be talking shit to Jazz and she don't do nothing? Now, Summer will talk her, or Jazz will talk her shit back. But the only reason Summer picks on you the way she does is because you ain't bopped her upside the head like the whack-a-mole at Chuck E. Cheese, bitch. Bop, bop, bop. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason Summer keep fucking with her. It's like a bully at school. They keep fucking with you until you let them know what time it is. You know what I mean? So, Jazz, as if I didn't think she deserved the baddies chain as is. And don't get me wrong, I really do like Jazz. I do, and we'll talk about that in a second. Even though I don't, even though I already was feeling like she didn't deserve it, this girl gonna go up here and say, I would like to give my baddie chain recommendation to Pretty P. I'm like, huh? Girl, why? Like, why? I didn't get that. Like, you was on the chopping block. Now you're possibly getting a baddie chain. You went from like here to here. Why are you trying to give it away? And we even saw in that moment, Roelly stood up and she's like, no, 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 we're not doing that. If we give you a chain and you so-called deserve it, why would you give it to somebody else? And I agree with Roelly in that moment. You may not agree with the messenger, but I agree with what she was saying. Now, Jazz says she feels like Pretty P has been overlooked. I mean, yeah, I guess you could. I guess it got to define what overlooked means. Everybody can't get a baddie's chain, right? I don't know. Do y'all think Pretty P has been overlooked? I don't think so. I think she's just a newbie, and all the newbies have to really prove themselves. And I think she has been proving herself, and maybe she will get a chain. But it's just like I don't know. Do y'all feel like Jazz was justified in offering her chain up to Pretty P? I would love to hear what y'all think. Say what y'all have to say about that. Now, because Jazz did that, Scotty says, Jazz, I feel like you're a girl's girl, so I'm gonna give you a chain. Well, Scotty, what do you know about being a girl's girl while you laid up with a woman who's got a whole man? Laid up with her man. Were you being a girl's girl when you had your legs spread allegedly for Janisha's man, ex-man, Lemon Pepper? Were you being a girl's girl then, Scotty? Yeah, I'll wait on that. Don't none of you hoes know anything about being a girl's girl, so miss me with that. All right. Now, um, when Scotty gives Jazz the baddie chain and says, I think you're a girl's girl, I think you deserve it, everybody kind of gasps. I mean, you can even see on the Mac in the background, she's like, everybody's kind of like, whoa. Because I don't think everyone was really expecting it. I think we were all expecting the baddie chain to go to Big Lex. You know what I mean? So, Big Lex and Summer, they're like, what the fuck? They're shocked. Um, I think Big Lex deserved that over Jazz. I think most of the Baddies fans thought Big Lex deserved that over Jazz. I don't see, anybody. And here's why I tell you Big Lex deserved that. I don't see anybody else in this house fighting Ivory but Big Lex. Everybody else want to tiptoe around Ivory. She the only one that don't. And again, I like Jazz. I think she's a cool girl. And even in this moment, we see Jayla, Scotty, and Natalie. They're trying to build Jazz up and make her feel good about herself, for as to why she deserved this chain. And they're saying things like, you're always pulled together, and we think that you're chilled and laid back for the most part. And I was like, that's kind of the things that I think about Jazz. Like, she may not be like the one to be the first one in a fight, but I think she's a cool chick for the most part. I think she would be great for like a Love and Hip Hop. You know what I mean? I think she would be really good on a Love and Hip Hop or even another show, and she would even still be good on Baddies. Um, I just think it's easy to get overshadowed on Baddies if you're not the biggest fighter. Jazz is one of those that she don't have to fight, but I feel like she'll be able to bring the confessionals and the fashions if we give her some time. You know what I mean? Now, and two, I feel like I would have respected Jazz more if she would have. If you're gonna give your baddie chain away, turn to Big Lex and say, you know what? I feel like she deserves it. Every time I look over this girl fighting, doing something, she deserves it over me. I would have respected that, but I don't know about Pretty. Yeah, Pretty P. Pretty P, I think deserves a baddie chain too. She been putting in the work. All the new girls have been the ones putting in the work and clocking in, while the OGs ain't. And we're gonna talk about that in a second. Um, Now, while they're trying to give Jazz her props on this baddie chain, we see Summer run up, and she runs up on Jazz and she starts fighting Jazz, and she even snatches the chain from Jazz's neck. The chain falls off. We see Jazz looking for it. Almost like bitch, you would thought she dropped a good bag of dope. She over here looking like, oh my god. And Summer, you cannot fight, sis. You cannot fight. Oof, my neck hurts. Um, I like you, Summer, but I feel like it was wrong to snatch the chain off of Jazz. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, You don't have to like her, but at least have some respect for the girl. Like, this is where you can tell there's a significant age difference in some of these girls. This, Jazz, if she was Summer's age again, I'm sure she would be fighting just like Summer. But I feel like Summer is like 23 and Jazz is probably what, 33? And again, the way she runs up and just snatches the chain off, I didn't like it. I didn't like that, Summer. I just feel like it made you look like a hater. It made you look salty. I feel like in Summer's eyes, she's thinking this is going to be good for TV. Let me get this bitch's chain because my friend deserved it. Summer is trying to do her big one. She's trying to turn up. She's trying to really be that girl and shine and be that baddie. And I feel like she's doing a good job at it, but sometimes she can go too far. And this is one of those instances I feel like she went too far with ripping that girl's chain off. No, what in the hell was going on with Natalie's skin in this episode? Did y'all notice that? Natalie looked like she had a big bite mark going down her face, like somebody bit her right there on the cheeks. It was one scene where she didn't have makeup on. I'm like, and no shade, but all the money and resources Natalie has, I would want to make sure that like I had clear skin. You know what I mean? Like all the Chanel bags and shit y'all be buying, invest in your skin, baby. Not everybody is fortunate enough to have the money you do. So why would you like? I'm gonna move on from that. All right. Now, Ivory's still upset over what happened between her and Big Lex. Now she's walking around saying, "I'm gonna snatch the chain off if Big Lex ever gets one." This is continuing throughout the night. You know what? She's drinking more. Ivory's getting turned up. Now Tinkerbella, she pulls out some sunglasses and gives Ivory some sunglasses to wear to cover her black eye and tells Ivory, look, you're going to go out to the club with us tonight. Don't let this black eye situation slow you down. Here are some sunglasses. DTB, she comes in to Big Lex in another room. And she tells Big Lex, look, I see where you're coming from. This happened to me last season, and I feel like you deserved your baddie chain. We know DTB really wanted a baddie chain last season, and we know she deserved it, and they was giving hoes that didn't deserve one, like Asian Doll. Asian Doll was there 5 episodes, and they gave her one. Like, where is she? DTB definitely deserved her baddie chain way early last season. So I feel like she sees a lot of her situation in this same moment with Big Lex. Now, let's be real for a second. And I think I've talked about this before, but I keep noticing it every episode. I don't like how Roelly, Scotty, Tasiki, Anna, Tinkerbella, they're all like, if you watch them every episode, Jayla, they're sitting around like, we're the OGs, with their new veneers and their, new lace fronts. We're the OGs. Like, they just sit around every episode and they don't do shit. They don't really do anything. And I feel like they're like, here you go, new girls. Y'all do all the work. We're going to collect our check. And yeah. And you know what? I don't care if they're the OGs. This is a TV show, and everybody's getting paid. This is a job. You know what I mean? Like, clock in more. And I don't see this being sustainable, to be honest with y'all. I don't see, like, why continue to pay these girls, all these girls, these OGs, 6 figures every single season when you can pay fresh, new, raw talent pennies on the dollar to act a fool? Do you know what I mean? Like Some or No Other, for example. Why pay a bunch of Rollies and Jaylas and Tasikis when you can pay a bunch of Summers $1,000 an episode? Now, Roelly, Natalie, and Scotty, they're sitting around talking about Slim. And Slim gets brought up. Natalie says, we got to figure out what we're going to do when it comes to Slim. And my thing is, Slim's not been around for 4 seasons now. Why do we have to figure out what we're going to do when it comes to Slim? It seems very produced. Like, let's just call Slim up and bring her. Like, what do you mean? We've got to figure out something to do with Slim. Leave her on the curb. What are you talking about? Like, y'all ain't had nothing to say to Slim since Baddie South. Why are we calling her up now? I want to know why Slim originally never came back in Baddies East. I want to know why she never came back after Baddie South. What happened? And why is she back now? Now, Roelly says she doesn't want Slim to stay there, but if Slim is going to stay there, that she has to work for Roelly. Roelly says Slim has used her name for clout, so she owes this to her to work for her. And Roelly said Slim is a broke bitch. But my thing is, weren't all y'all broke bitches before the show? Do we need to run the pictures of all y'all on Baddie South before anybody was making money? Don't start acting brand new now, Roelly. Okay? Don't start acting brand new. Even though I understand where she's coming from as it relates to being upset with Slim, Scotty says it doesn't make sense for Slim to be Roelly's assistant when they don't fuck with each other. And I agree. Like, why even bring her back? To humiliate the girl? Okay. Roelly says if Slim doesn't agree with being her assistant, she can go. Now, we see in the next scene, it's Slim and Roelly sitting down to meet one another to talk. We see Slim, she's sitting there, she's smiling. She's like, how you doing, Roelly? How you doing, Roelly? Like, I'm just like, ugh, girl, she's just so excited to be there. She's so excited they finally cut her a check and she finally gets to be there. I'm just like, girl, please go. Please exit stage left. We don't want you here. There's probably 25 Baddies fans out of a million that want Slim back. I don't get the appeal. There's nothing exciting there. I feel like Slim was very aware of the cameras. She was always trying to be this tough girl. It's like, you're not. Now, it's just sad to watch the desperation. You know what I mean? It's sad to watch. It's pure desperation. This scene with Roelly and Slim was pure desperation. It just oozed from the screen. The desperation. I was so embarrassed for her. The secondhand embarrassment I got. Now, do I think Slim is sorry to Roelly? Absolutely not. As I'm watching this, I'm like, this girl is not sorry. Do I think this is genuine? Absolutely not. I'm like, this girl is not sorry. She's not genuine. This girl is here to get back on the show. If there were no cameras, if there was no paycheck, Slim would not give a fuck about Roelly and what happened to her, okay? Now, what shocks me is that production is allowing Roelly to make the decision for Slim to come back or not, when usually production wouldn't give a cast member that much power. They would just bring Slim on and get under Roelly's skin and piss her off and then watch him fight. You wouldn't give Roelly all the power, but hey, that was Natalie's choice, I guess. Now, Slim starts out by saying that she was upset and hurt that Roelly compared her to Gretchen. And apparently Roelly said Slim should not be saying the N-word because she's not even black. Her father's only like this much black. But my thing is, Roelly, if you felt that way about Slim, why were you just now saying it? You were around this girl for a few years. Y'all filmed 2 or 3 shows together. She was saying the word then, and you never had a problem with it. So now, why, when y'all fall out, do you start picking at her, with her saying the N-word? Because I don't think Slim and Gretchen are the same. Now, I don't know Slim's ancestry. I don't know how black she is. But I feel like Gretchen's a different situation because Gretchen was a white Puerto Rican woman. Slim, I'm pretty sure, is a biracial woman, black and white. Now, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Now, if you notice in Slim's confessionals, she can't even look in the camera. She's talking like this, and, Roelly this, and then it's like, girl, look at the fucking camera. Focus. That's how we know you're not genuine with this shit. I would respect her much more if she said Sorry, y'all. I'm getting text message after text message after text message. I would respect her so much more if she said, "Look, I'm struggling. I want to be back on the show. I want this opportunity. I miss doing the show. I really need the money. I miss going out to club appearances. I don't want to be back in the strip club. I like just help me out so you could help me get off my feet and off my back, right?" I would respect it. Like, hey, at least she's being honest. Let her back on the show. She's trying to get back on her feet. But it's the fugazi mind games, the manipulation attempt, all that bullshit that she's pulling with Roelly that Roelly sees herself that I don't buy. Roelly said, "You said what you said about my son, and then you wished for me to be unalive. You're like scum to me, and I don't forgive you." I'm like, God damn. It's like, damn, I think I would have went about it. I would have went about it a little differently. Like, Roelly's more cutthroat with it. I probably would have been like, look, Slim, thank you for the apology. I don't forgive you, but I received the apology. But unfortunately, you're not going to make money off my name and coming back on this show. I'm sorry, you're not. Have a good day. That's how I would do it. Now, Roelly instead tells her, look, you want a job so bad? I'm going to give you one. You're a returned baddie now, but as my assistant. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was fucking legendary, okay? Roelly telling Slim that and Slim looking like, huh? What? It was iconic. It was iconic. Y'all might not like it. Y'all might think Roelly was being a bitch. You might think she was being a bully. I don't. I think she was justified in it. I would have said the same thing because I get the clout chasing vibes from Slim that I think Roelly gets. And you want to come back and make money off my name? You're going to be my assistant. Here's your pen and paper. You start Monday at 8 a.m. Bloop. Bloopity bloop bloop. Now, that entire performance that Slim put on, hooker dress and all, she literally walked into that scene, put on a performance with her hooker dress and hooker heels and hooker makeup, casket ready, funeral ready makeup. She walked into that scene, put on a performance, and apologized only to get in her confessional and call Roelly a fat ass, brisket ass bitch in her confessional. I told y'all it was never fucking genuine. It was all a fucking act. It was all a front. Now, when Roelly beat your ass, when Roelly beat the brakes off your little redheaded Annie looking ass, Slim, don't you go playing victim. When you get the Raggedy Ann brakes beat off your ass by Roelly, when she mops you up across that stage at the reunion, I don't want to hear it. Don't go on live jacking that jaw. We don't start the apology shit again. I knew it was never genuine from the get-go, y'all. Genuine. Like I genuinely knew it was not real. Now I want y'all to pay attention. After Roelly told Slim, I want you to be my assistant. You're going to be my assistant. Slim says, hoo-wee. She starts thinking about it. I knew that hoe would think about it. I knew that hoe was going to think about it. I'm like, are you really, Slim, going to sit here and lower yourself to being Roelly's assistant? I was shocked. When she thought about it, but I was floored when she took the fucking position, bitch. I was floored when she took the motherfucking position, bitch. She says, so you mean to tell me that there's possibly some room for us to be, possibly friends? And Roelly says, no, I will never be your friend, ever in life. And it's like, girl, which one is it? You want to be Roelly's friend? Or you want to, or she's a big fat ass, brisket ass bitch? Which one is it? That's why I just don't respect this girl. It's just like, And the fact that you accepted the position, you delusional dingbat. Like, I know your mama and daddy is proud. Mm, 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 mm. Where is your dignity, Slim? Where is your self-respect to say, you know what, I deserve more than this? Like, you had more dignity, my love, on the pole and on the corner than you ever will being Roelly's assistant, because they about to humiliate the fuck out of you. I truly believe that. I mean, she just looked so desperate, thirsty, parched, talking about she literally said, y'all, I'm a pet now. I'm a pet. Meow. Bad bitch shit. What? Who are you? Ew, get off my screen. 911, there's a hooker on the loose. Please. Ew. No, Slim, we don't want to see you. Get away. No. I'm sorry. Like, it's just how she did that at the end. Like, she's like, I guess I'm a pet now. Meow. Bad bitch shit. There, nothing about you is a bad bitch. You're doing bad, bitch. Okay? Anyway, let me reel it in, Damien. Reel it in. Roelly tells Slim, you will not be going out with me tonight to the club. I was like, ooh. Ooh. Now, the girls get on the bus and they go to the Chicago event. They go out to the club to this Chicago event. And Ivory still is pissed. We've gone through this entire episode. She's still heated that Big Lex gave her this black eye. And Ivory gets on the bus and she says, I want to know who fucked with the name tags on our door. I want to know who did it. Now, Natalie tries to say that they all did it at first. We all did it. And I'm like, Natalie, no, you know you did that shit. Don't be trying to paint on everybody now. Ivory says that she feels like she's being played with. I feel like I'm being fucking played with. Y'all, I feel like y'all woke me up. I ain't done nothing this whole time, but y'all done woke me up now. And it's like, it's really not that deep, sis. Like, it's really not that deep. But she's more pissed at the fact that her and Big Lex got into a fight because of the room situation. Not that the rooms were really switched. She says, I'm mad that this resulted in a fight. Are you, Ivory, Miss Street Fighter? Are you really mad that this resulted in a fight? Or are you mad that you lost the fight? And that your opponent came out, wake up, flawless, post up, flawless, riding around in that flawless. And you walking around holding that motherfucking ice to your face wearing sunglasses all night. I'm just saying. Or is it that alcohol talking to you? Because Ivory's on 10. She's lit. She lit, okay? She's lit tonight. Now, Natalie, your energy towards Ivory was very different in that bus versus your energy in that confessional. Because if you notice, in Natalie's confessional, she says, bitch, I did it, and what? Talking to Ivory, saying, yeah, bitch, I moved your shit, and what? But in person on the bus, Natalie's doing her nice, nasty, the nice, nasty Natalie. The, yeah, yeah. Oh, trying to be, just being fraudulent, fugazi, the fake Natalie that we all know her to be. Um, Now, Big Lex, in this moment, she says, if I lost a fight, I'd want to go again and again and again and again too. Now, didn't I say that? I clocked that. I clocked that too as I was watching this episode, and then I noticed Big Lex said it at the end of the episode. Same thing I'm thinking, and probably a lot of the same thing that y'all are thinking. Ivory only wants to keep fighting this girl because of the black eye. Okay? That's just my opinion. Now, DTB and Akbar, we see them apologize to each other on the bus after their whole situation they had a few episodes ago. Um, Now, again, I told y'all earlier in the episode, I thought Natalie was the main culprit. I thought she was the one that swapped the name tags around. Was she not? Because Why are they playing like it didn't happen that way? Or was it Anna? Anyway, Ivory is they're on the bus. She's super pissed at this whole situation, and she's super pissed at Big Lex that she takes a drink and she lunges a drink through the bus at Big Lex, and the drink kind of splashes on a lot of people. I think it hits Big Lex, but it goes through the bus and it splashes other people. And I'm shocked that everybody just sat there like, if you notice, after Ivory throws the drink, everybody's like, and I'm just like, is everybody scared of Ivory but Big Lex? Now they get in the club, everybody's having a good time. Ivory's drunk as fuck on the mic, talking about how she's been popping bitches all season and yada yada yada. She ends up taking too long on the mic, so Natalie takes the mic from her. Now we see the DJ ends up shouting out Tinkerbella and saying, shout out Tinkerbella, and Tinkerbella tries to step on this platform that Bad Dolly is already standing on. Now, apparently, this platform is only made for one person, and Bad Dolly's already standing up there, but Tinkerbella decides to step up there, and when she does, they go timber and they fall over. And that would have been super embarrassing if they were like, shout out Tinkerbella, and then you get up there and you just fall. Mm, 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 mm. Now, we see Sydney Starr made a cameo appearance tonight. She didn't get much camera time, but she decided to show up at the club because she is from Chicago. They are in Chicago. So, we see her pop up at the back of the club like, hey, Natalie. And that was all we really saw from Sydney. I figured they would have used her to their advantage and got her to stir up some shit or something, but that didn't happen. And then we see at the end of the episode, as they're leaving the club, DTB gets kicked in the stomach. But that's all we really saw. That's all we really heard was DTB saying that she left the club and all of a sudden somebody kicked her in the stomach. We see a little bit of footage of her leaving the club. We don't really see the kick happening so much, but I'm like, why did we not get a follow up on that? Who was that? Were they on the cast? Was that a random fan? Did the random fan get their ass beat? Did they get arrested? Like, I was just so confused by that. It felt sort of random and thrown in there. Um, Anyways, we're running out of time, you guys. I gotta wrap this up and head to my job. I want to thank you so much for supporting me, sitting through this video, and engaging with my content. I truly, truly appreciate you. Hopefully they will drop the Jostens Cabaret Texas reunion soon, and we will be recapping that. Until then, make sure you check out new Baddies Midwest after shows each and every week right here on my channel by clicking the subscribe button, making sure you are locked into all things Damien After Dark. Also, don't forget to press that thumbs up button and like this video down below. That helps me get into the YouTube algorithm. Join the conversation and let me know what you thought of this week's episode by getting in the comment section down there below. And last but not least, if you would like to donate to the Damien After Dark movement to help us grow and sustain this channel, in the description box below will be some ways that you can donate. All right. I love you guys so much for hanging out with me during another Baddies Midwest recap. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll see you next week for more Baddies. Until next time, see ya.